Keeping it real for you around here, as always. I know how hard it can be to have fun with your business when nothing feels like it's working. In fact, it makes you want to quit. It makes you want to do nothing. It makes you want to run away to a remote island and not talk to anybody. And this applies whether you're just starting, you're a few years in, or you're neck deep in it 16 years later with 2 businesses like I am. This entrepreneurship thing, this going after creating financial freedom for yourself, personal development, rising up to your highest potential, all these moves, this is not for the faint of heart. And it does not come without pain. It does not come without sacrifice. It does not come without risk. It doesn't come without some losses along the way. That's part of it. You're not going to be able to get to where you want to get in life by having the road always be smooth. Imagine going on a road trip and there's never any traffic. There's never any potholes in the road. There's never any detours. There's never any like boring spots where you're just looking at corn going through the Midwest United States, seeing corn, 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 corn for miles and miles, and it feels like it's never ending. Going on a road trip and you're never tired. You never want to stop driving. You wish you were there already. You're hungry. Why would that be any different in using this analogy when it comes to building your dreams? Right now, you might be in a spot where you have no consistent client flow and you keep attracting people with excuses instead of people who are empowered and excited to pay you. You're kind of tired of working all the time. You're not really seeing a clear path on how to grow without trading more of your time and energy for money. And then you're feeling all alone in this. And you just want someone to show you what needs to be done, what you need to focus on so that you get results. I've freaking been there and it's rough. And unfortunately, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The longer you stay in this fear state, in this stuck state, in this frustration state, you're going to continue repelling the abundance. And then the more you're going to feel stuck and round this loop goes. And the only way I was able to break out of the scarcity cycle was to finally say no more and do what I actually wanted in my business and stop doing it all on my own. And that required me to spend money, more money than I was even bringing in, but I was going to quit otherwise. You know, it was suffocating me. I felt trapped. I felt resentful of my business. I was jealous of other people who are, you know, you might feel jealous of me right now when you see some of my stuff. I was like that, where it's like, God, it seems so easy for her. And she had her highest month ever at Project Me in June. And meanwhile, like I barely, am breaking even in June. What's going on over here? It's because you've been doing guessing and hoping it works as a plan. And you've been forcing and pushing. And you've been taking clients that weren't a great fit, and then you're stuck in this loop. And we're going to get you out of that today. This is my way of paying it forward so that you can get that fresh cash flowing into your business again. Because what do I always say? Without consistent fresh cash flowing into your business, you don't have a business. You have a jobby, a time and energy sucking hobby. And that is not going to happen on my watch. I can't make you follow through and do it. And if I could figure out a way to actually make you do it long enough so you see the results and it keeps you motivated, I certainly would. Maybe I need to get like a Project Me like helicopter or jet and land in your backyard and be like, listen up, follow through, take the risk, and you'll see what rewards are waiting for you on the other side. But you're just going to have to take my word for it. And my guest Samantha's word for it on today's episode. This conversation that has been heard by thousands of people so far will absolutely be able to change your financial life, how you operate your business, and get you out of this damn loop. If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash making advice. Now let's get to it. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your abundance, your relationships, and everything in between. I am shooketh. My Abundance League 4-month business mastermind is over 65% sold out already. If you have not seen the details on this, you need to go check it out. If you are someone who is in a spot where you want to scale your business so that you have multiple revenue streams and not everything is dependent on you being active and you serving clients and you being there and you always doing content and you doing all the things in order to bring in cash. Because you can get rich that way. I would say you can generate, a couple $100,000 a year that way without losing your mind. But then at a certain point, you're not going to be able to have the freedom because you don't have the time. And your business has to be structured in a way to do this. It can't happen from your ass. It can't happen by hoping and figuring it out and trying. It has to happen by focusing on my 4-part monetization plan, which is why this mastermind is 4 months long, plus you get a 2-day in-person live event with me at my beach house. So you can swipe up. All the details and the applications are on the link, projectmewithtiffany.com/abundance league. I'm not running it again this year, and I don't know when I will run it again because I've set my business up in a way that I don't have to keep running things regularly. If I don't choose, maybe I will focus on finishing my book. Maybe I'll luxuriate for 2 months and simply, serve and focus on my Project Me Posse business coaching membership. I want you to have options like this, but you need to have things set up in a way to create that option lifestyle for yourself. And myself and Samantha Parker, who is my brand director, aka Chief Glitter Officer, we are going to show you how and walk you through it, and you get access to my Project Me Dream Team, not some random cheap-ass VAs from some foreign land. I'm talking people who I pay very well, who've been trained on my emotional-based sales techniques. You get 3 top people all working with a max of 20 of you. This is why I can say it's semi-private coaching, because you have that much attention on you at a fraction of what I should be charging for this, because it's introductory special pricing at the moment. So again, go to link in bio on my Instagram, on my TikTok, or you can swipe up and it's in the show notes. Get ready to break out one of your 5,000 journals, because you're going to want to take some copious notes during the session. And if you're multitasking, that's okay. It's recorded here, so you can come back and listen again and again. I'm so excited for you to hear this. I want to start with some stats and facts, because I know how it's so easy for our brains to go, okay, this isn't possible for me. No one's buying. Then you have people in your life that are talking about things like the economy. And then you maybe listen to some shit on the news. And then you've launched some stuff and stuff isn't working. And then you feel like someone else said no. And then this isn't happening. And then no one's even signing up for your free stuff. So it's like, what's going on? Maybe summer's not a good time to be offering things. Maybe this isn't working. Maybe I should quit. Maybe this is too hard. Maybe I don't have what it takes. All the stuff that goes on in our crazy brains. And everyone gets like this. No one likes that feeling when we're not getting the cookie. We always want the cookie, but you have to bake the cookie first, right? It's like, it just doesn't, you're not always going to get it when you want to get it. You have to trust that it's coming and show up regardless. But that's not always easy to do. It's uncomfortable, which is why most people quit before they get the damn cookie. And on my watch, you don't quit. And on Sam's watch, you don't quit. All right. So when we're in this state, we're insane. Some of you guys are temporarily insane right now. And it's very easy to look around on the interwebs. Maybe it's even looking at me whomever, where you're like, God, why would someone hire me when they can hire them? And then you're getting all this evidence that it's not working. So I like giving you stats and facts, because our ego, if you try to tell it, I'm a multimillionaire entrepreneur and I'm cash flush all the time. Exactly. Your brain is going like, no, you're full of shit. That's not true. Like, we're growing more and more in debt. So that doesn't work. We got to do stats. So here are some fresh stats that I pulled from a reliable source. If you are not familiar with who I am, my name's Tiffany Carter. I'm a multimillionaire entrepreneur. I have two businesses. One is an 8-figure business that I've had for 16 years, and I left my corporate job. That was a side hustle, and then built that the hard way, not with social media, not with having a clue what I was doing. And there's a story that goes along with it. And then the brand that you're here with me now, which I've had 4.5 years, and that's Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and business coaching academy, teaching you how to monetize your intellectual property, your knowledge, your skill set, your life experience, make money doing it so that you can make what you want to make and not depend on any person, place, thing, job, or institution for money ever again. There's nothing more empowering than that feeling. I call it. And if you guys have problems with swearing, you're already not going to like me. So just warning. And if you have kids around, just tell them Tiffany has a big swear jar in her office. But it's fuck you money. And I don't mean it like in a nasty way, like you're some mean, entitled person, but it's fuck you money. Like, fuck you, I don't have to put up with that bullshit. Fuck you, I don't have to work until 9 o'clock at night. Fuck you, I don't have to work on weekends. Fuck you, I don't have to stay in this relationship. Fuck you, I can go take a vacation with my girlfriends in the south of France just because I want to. That's what I mean by that. It's very empowering. And as someone who grew up in a severely abusive household where I was heavily also controlled, utilizing money, that equals true freedom for me, because I don't have to coddle to anyone for money. I don't need to marry anyone for money. I've been engaged 3 times though. That's fun. When you don't have to do that, I watch what happens when the people who've come to me, I've coached more than 150,000 people worldwide. Between Samantha and I, we have 23 years of experience, and I will introduce her in a little bit of why our skill sets complement each other to best serve you and why we came together to do this for you. The facts are this. The e-learning market that I just explained to you, you could maybe want to call it the knowledge market. This was already at $107 billion in 2015. 107 billion in 2015. Like 2015 to me feels like it was 500 years ago. I hadn't even started Project Me. Okay, these are like the OG people that got in the beginning, and thank God for these people, right? Who painted that way. By 2025, Forbes has pulled tons of data, and it's going to be a $325 billion industry, one of the fastest grossing industries that there is. And last year, online courses alone, I'm not talking group programs, I'm not talking about like masterminds like I have, or like my Posse membership that I have, truly self-paced online courses alone last year made $46 billion. So I want to start out by sharing the story. It's a little emotional for me, so bear with me on this, but I feel it's something really important for you to hear. And I sat and I prayed on what was important for you guys to hear on this very day at this very time, because all of our knowledge does not have to come just from us and this brain of ours. There's a higher source at play, whatever it is for you. I believe in everything. I believe in spirit guides. I'm Bernard, right? I believe in angels, God, the universe. I'm one of those people. But we are really taking this wisdom from a greater source and having it speak through us. So when you get stuck on things like content or where to take my company next, part of the problem is you're just relying on self-will. And that's not the higher purpose intention for us here. I built my first company solely on self-will. When I tell you I worked 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week, turned down trips, got sick all the time. I mean, nonstop. That's probably truly part of why I never like found that relation, that like special relationship during that time, because I wasn't even available. I became this like workaholic because I was raised by a single mom entrepreneur who all she ever said was, you have to kill yourself to be successful in business. You have to give yourself an arm and a leg, right? Like you've got to outwork everyone else. And a lot of us drop in comments if you've had a lot of that programming, right? Success is sacrifice. Success requires this. You got to push, force. And I took that in. It was modeled for me. My mom was very successful in her field. And not only was she saying it to me, she modeled it to me. So I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. Yeah, no pain, no gain. That was a big one. And when we're taking in these beliefs, that's all we end up seeing. We see confirmation bias for whatever it is we believe. So we see, like, we have an uncle that worked hard. We see evidence of, someone who's some multimillionaire on TV who like sacrificed their whole family and had multiple divorces. Like we're seeing all this confirmation for that. So I was terrified to leave my safe corporate job in pharmaceuticals, which was a very like fancy corporate career, right? Like in the corporate world, if you're making $100,000, that's like the coveted amount of money. We've all been programmed. And I'm not saying that's a crappy amount of money, but we've been programmed. That's like the holy grail. And I was terrified. I was terrified to leave. And I started side hustling. And I did have a couple clients, and it's not like I wasn't making some money, but I was terrified to leave. I was terrified to leave the benefits, which is another scam, right? Like I was so tied and locked into those benefits. And I finally left because of something my stepfather said to me. My dad died right before my 25th birthday. God put my stepfather in my life so that I had some form of a father figure. And it was the father figure I was supposed to have. This was the wealthiest man, even person, I had ever met who didn't work. He hadn't worked since his 40s. His line, when people would ask him, like, what does he do? He would say, like, I mess around. And it was right. Like I watched him mess around. It was like fascinating. He had no college degree. He wasn't some like strappingly handsome Mr. Charisma politician type guy. He's like a little guy, actually, a little like average guy who had a shitload of tenacity and chose to take the risk. And when I went to him, I said, I can't be in this corporate space anymore. It's making me sick. And I keep hitting a glass ceiling. I get passed over for promotions. All I'm getting is like that 3% raise. It's not like, I feel there's more to have here, but if I let go of that, what if no one buys from me? And even though I have a couple clients, like, what if that's it? Or what if they leave? And all the what ifs. Do you guys have all those what ifs? Like, what if there aren't more people? Like, that's nice. I have a couple, but like, that's not enough to change this. And then what if I'm trading one for the other? And then I end up like, all I'm doing is working to make a little bit less than I was making before, even the same. And he said to me something that I'll never forget. Ooh. I probably left out the fact that he passed away 3 years ago. But his message lives on, and I'm carrying it on, which is also why it's so important for you guys to carry your messages on. He looked at me from his favorite chair in the kitchen where he messed around like with the newspaper for like hours. And he looked up at me and he just said, why would anyone be willing to take a risk on you and spend their money with you if you're not willing to take a risk yourself? And I was like, oh, damn. I wanted it both ways. I wanted all the safety, security, and all the clients. I need to know I'm safe, and then I'll let go. It doesn't work. Success doesn't work like that. It requires us to take a leap of faith and believe in ourselves and bet on ourselves first. And that's the only way it will happen. Flash forward 7 years into my business, I almost died from a health condition. because I was burning the candle at both ends. I was still operating out of fear and what that programming was, which I know a lot of you guys who are business owners are working in. You're doing all the things, but a little return for all that effort, all that time and energy and even money spent, all that effort. And on paper, right? Like I had the luxury townhouse in LA, I had the convertible BMW, I had luxury trips. Like on the outside, right? It looked all good. I was totally bankrupt. My health was completely shot, and I had to take that business that I've told you I've had for 16 years, TLC Enterprises. Yes, I'm aware it sounds like I'm running some sort of a gentleman's club in Las Vegas. Those are my initials. I was not aware of how that would sound to people. So I had to take that business down to almost 10%. I had to let go, and I have big whale clients. So one of the benefits that you guys get from working with me is that I have the privilege, and I've earned that privilege, to sit on boards and be a highly coveted consultant for some of your most favorite brands. For example, like L'Oreal Cosmetics, Neutrogena, Allergan. I hesitate to say the J&J brand, but like some of their consumer packaged goods lines. And how they market and how they sell with these big dollars is really no different than what I teach you guys to do. We're just doing it on a scale down approach. So you're getting that benefit of how the multi-billion and trillion-dollar companies do things. You're getting that in today's training and in all the offerings that I have. So I didn't have my health, but I had cash. Well, that's not being rich. And I know that can sound to a lot of you guys, well, I'd rather be like exhausted and rich than exhausted and broke. Fair. Fair. Because I've been exhausted and broke. Okay. So it is better to be exhausted and rich, but that's not what we're after. We're after true freedom and wealth. And first, I want you guys to at least type in comments and say, like, I believe it's possible. And if you can't even get there, right, I'm willing to believe it's possible for me, because I'm very realistic. Okay. Because if it's possible for me, if it's possible for Sam, when Sam shares some of her story, you'll go, okay, there's two people here who've had there are a lot of odds stacked against us, and we're at where we're at today. So how did I get to Project Me? I knew I needed to do something different. I knew I couldn't continue going at that pace. It wasn't lighting me up. I was exhausted. My body wasn't going to allow me to operate that way. And I had been a long time student of manifestation and abundance. And I was like, okay, if I have to do an experiment that you can make a crap ton of money and a crap ton of difference in people's lives while prioritizing your wellness, your happiness, your joy, your freedom, versus having to do the trade. Because I already did the trade and it sucks. So anyone who's doing the trade right now, like, feel free, drop it in comments. And I didn't know if it was going to work, but I made a promise to myself that if it did work, that I would teach millions of people how to do it in a straight up, no BS, simple way that feels good and feels fun, versus hoard that information for myself. And that's where we're at today. Every single thing that we're teaching you is, you can get to $350,000 a year. And it might sound wild to some of you. Some of you might have reached it, but you did a big sacrifice for it. You can get to that working part-time from your phone. The laptop I'm using right now to talk to you is from 2013. And I'm not joking. Now, in front of me, that's my very expensive Post-it note holder, which I'll show the behind the scenes on my Instagram later. That's my iMac that I thought I had to buy in order to start Project Me. It was $5,500, and I've used it 3 times. And now it's a Post-it note holder. Everything I do is on my phone and is on this old laptop. It's due time at some point for me to get a new one, but I have like an attachment to this laptop. We're good friends at this point. I mean, it's really done well for me. What is something that you feel, even though like your higher self knows it's bullshit, but what is something that you feel you're lacking or that you need to have in order to have this kind of success, in order to make a lot of money working from when you want, selecting the hours that work best for you while prioritizing your wellness, your happiness, and things that mean a lot to you in your life. Direction. And that's why you're here today. You're not here by a chance, right? You're not here just randomly. You could be in a lot of places and you're here. Yeah, a lot of people say money, guidance, consistency, structure, a kick in the ass. Well, there we are. You're in the right place. Samantha's known for her ass kicking. And then Emmy's part of the Project Me Dream Team. We're like, okay, so what Sam's really saying is, anyway, so let's get off and start with the 4 unique ways. I don't care where you're at in your business. You could be 10 years down the line. You could be where I'm at, making millions of dollars in 2 different businesses. You could be a medical professional. You could do permanent jewelry. You could be a hairstylist. You could be a coach. You could be a healer. You could also have no fucking idea what you want to do, but you know you want to do something, and you might know what you don't want to be doing anymore. And that's a great start. Start there. How you find what you want to do and what you're meant to do is by being honest about what you no longer want to do in your life. That's my best life advice for this training. Okay. So let's talk about the first unique way. If you saw these Post-it notes, this is wild. We're impressed here. I'm keeping a Post-it in great business. The first unique way for you to bring in fresh cash this summer is you want to get in the psychographics versus the demographics of your ideal client. Most of us were taught, whether you went to college or you took a class in school, or maybe you've learned from someone else online, to focus on like demographics, right? Moms who just had a baby, men who are 40 years plus, and you're focused on those things. I'm not saying those don't play in the picture, but that's not what's going to make you the real money and much faster. It's the psychographics of your ideal client. What do people want in the summer? They want fun. They want excitement. They want play. They want to do something different. They want to be out. They want to be outdoors. They want to move their body more. So you got to give it to them. It's not really any different than what you're craving. Trust that what you're craving is what they're craving. So create like a limited edition or seasonal offers that are only available in the summer. Look at what some of these big brands do. Just use a brand we're all familiar with, right? Whether you eat it or not. I mean, there are times I do. But like McDonald's, right? What do they do in March? They do the Shamrock Shake, right? Like there's seasonal food, seasonal flavors, seasonal offerings. Ben & Jerry's ice cream, right? They have a special flavor like in the US for the 4th of July holiday that you can only get at that time. My least favorite, which is one of Samantha's favorites, pumpkin spice fucking anything, right? Pumpkin spice season. That is a multi-billion-dollar season based on fucking pumpkin spice. And then you get the peppermint mocha. Okay. So you see where I'm going with it. So create limited edition or seasonal offers that are only available in the summer. So like, if you're like, well, Tiffany, I don't have products that I can do. You could do, I'll give you examples from clients. I have a client that we created a walk and talk for coaching. So people will either fly out, or she has people drive out, or locally, and they do a walk and talk. So they get like exercise, they're outdoors, and they go grab a lunch, and that person's paying for that like 4-hour experience, right? And it's only available in the summer. You could do a mini membership that is only a membership for the summer months. So it could be like, let's say a 8-week membership, or a 12-week membership, or a 6-week membership, where people are paying maybe weekly, and have that membership be around something that your ideal client needs more support in, needs more guidance in, that feels fun to you. But like put a summer flair on it, right? Like and you can apply what I'm teaching you today, like with other seasons as well. I'm giving you examples because We want the fresh cash now, right? If you don't have fresh cash flowing into your business, what do I say on the podcast? You don't have a business, you have a jobby, a time and energy sucking hobby. And we are not about that life. Another example, Samantha and I love doing this, summer swag. You can sell summer swag for your business, or you can use summer swag. And what I mean by swag is branded sweatshirts. You could sell the swag by itself, or you could make it an incentive, right? Someone spends this much with you in your business, they get this. So think about even the cosmetic world. Think of Sephora, think of Nordstrom's. I know there's different stores and you guys are from all over the world. But I always think of Clinique. I remember back in college, I had to save to buy Clinique, those juicy tubes, man, those were that was gold. Shout out juicy tubes. And so if you spent X amount of dollars, you would get the free, cosmetic, bag with the little sample sizes in it. But that makes you buy more. That increases the amount of money each customer is spending. But you can do this even if you have a service-based business, right? You can do a summer special, and every single private client of yours, or every single person joining your group coaching, or every single person that is coming in for my Abundance League Mastermind, right, is getting this luxury swag bag. It's exciting. And you don't want to have obviously, we don't do crappy swag, but it makes you excited. And then you can wear the swag out. You can use the swag in your content, and it just builds more excitement and more brand awareness around your stuff. Another example for you on this is a summer journal. You can create an ebook. You can create a journal, create something that is for your brand, that is just for the summer, that's summer themed. And this doesn't mean it's one and done, you're only releasing it this exact summer. This can be a thing, right? Just like the Shamrock Shake. This can be the thing that you then launch next summer and then next summer. And you can partner that with sharing it with an accompanying video. Thank you. I forget my own offers. Yeah. I have my summer abundance walks, which we haven't dropped those yet. Right now we have season of abundance, but we need to drop the summer abundance walks. And I'll do right now I have a summer sale going on inside my Posse membership, my business coaching membership. And it just brings a lot of excitement for people, and it makes you excited, because what makes you excited, you end up magnetizing that excitement. Part of it is you guys are kind of bored when you're doing the same thing in your business. And then there's part of you that has, my guess is, and drop it in comments, you've launched things and you feel it's not facts. You feel like you've launched things and you put things out there, whether it's free or paid, and people aren't buying like you hoped. And so then it starts feeling not fun and discouraging to then keep doing it. I know that's what you feel like. I can promise you, in coaching over 150,000 people worldwide and doing it for this long, you just are not, you have holes in your business, which is what my Abundance League Mastermind is designed to share. And I'll go into those 4 holes just so you guys can start noodling on it. There's 4 main holes. And the good news is those can easily be filled, but you're kind of operating your business from your ass, if we're being honest, right? If you're not making the money you want to be making, you have a hole in your business. And that's not a bad thing. We just have to fill the hole. All right, let me introduce Sam, because she is amazing at the unique way to bring fresh cash into your business this summer. This number 2, there's no one better. In fact, this is how Sam and I met. So the second thing is pop-up events. And these pop-up events, these can be live, or these can be online. We're doing a live one right now. They can be free, or you can charge for it. You can do a meetup. You can do a brunch and learn. I thought of one today when I was out by the pool. I was I bet people would be excited to pay me if I did a dip, dollars and dip, or something like that, where I took 10 people and they came over and chilled by my pool. And we had Aperol spritzes and did business coaching and mapped out offers, without a doubt. And it sounds fun to me. So make it fun when it comes with summer. So Sam she's one of those standard creative entrepreneurs where she is multi-passionate. She has a product-based business called Chill Glitter. She has an incredible engagement social media marketing agency. She is my chief branding director. I also call her my chief glitter officer because we just love glitter. We love like Lisa Frank vibes. We like anything that's fun like that. And why we decided to merge isn't just because she's a key person on my team. And this I'll get deeper into in the fourth thing I'm teaching you. But our collaboration complements each other. It makes a lot of sense, right? Like she's trained on my emotional-based sales techniques. She has a genius for having that creative mind for live events, live experiences, creating content around it, and getting people to come to it. And I met her because she did a pop-up event in Chicago. I was going to Tony Robbins. And it was, I'm sure, my guess is that Samantha probably did that on purpose. That it was like around the same time as a Tony Robbins event. Maybe it was a coincidence.
No.
And so she's like, no, it was strategic. And so that's how I met her. And that was what, like four and a half years ago. And like the rest is history. So I want you to share, like, Sam, how people can utilize these pop-up events to really make a lot of money and brand recognition in their business without being some famous Instagram, TikTok person.
Yes. Okay. I have to pass the baton to you though, because you're going to have to, it's a full-time job letting people in the weight room.
Okay. I'm doing it. I can handle it.
It's so cool to see all you guys coming in. Welcome. My name is Samantha Parker. I'm the Samantha Parker on Instagram and Chill Glitter on TikTok. What did your cup just say?
See, I'm always branding.
Rich Girl Summer. On a Post-it note, though, we could have made these stickers.
I know, but I was like, I just wanted it now.
Okay. I'm really excited to talk about this. I did meet Tiffany at a pop-up event. I had launched a book. And so what we did is we did a book pop-up event. And then we were going to Tony Robbins. So we kind of piggybacked off the two. But I would say Tiffany and I really bonded in the bathroom at Tony Robbins. We were hiding. Not from like people or like the event. We were just like taking a break. And she's like, what are you doing in here? And I'm like, I had to get away. And she's like, me too. And I'm like, okay, girl, we can be friends. Okay. So let's talk about pop-up events really though. And I want to start off by telling you guys that you do not need to look a certain way. You do not need to like have a certain amount of followers. You do not need to have all these things to have these big successful pop-up events. Because what you might be thinking when I say a pop-up event is like, you know how like TikTokers and YouTubers do like these like big like meet and greets? That's like really not what it is at all. You can do total pop-up events right now with the audience that you have, with the friends that you have, and the people that you know. And so I'm going to explain it in a couple different ways. Like maybe, because I know when you're starting out your business, like you guys have bootstrapped like everything in my business. I had to learn from the ground up. And so I realized that like sometimes people are at different levels for sure. And you need to meet yourself with where you're at. So if you're like, I have no idea how to do like a massive free live training and all these different things that go in it, you can start at different levels. So I've got some good examples for you guys. But the easiest pop-up event you can do is, this is something I'm doing for one of the local businesses that I work with, is I decided that I would just start hosting a monthly girls' night at this local business. Yes, they're my clients. So I'm going to show you like, it's a cool win-win because I'm bringing people into their business, but then I'm also just like getting to have fun. And that's the key here. What is it that Tiffany says? If we're not having fun, like there's no point, right?
The more fun you have, the more money you make. Straight up.
Except for with taxes. That doesn't apply.
Well, that's true. But I can have fun with taxes. I have to pay, by the way, you guys, I have to pay monthly taxes now. When you make a lot of money, you have to pay monthly, just FYI. Okay, go ahead.
That's a good place to be. I started paying quarterly last year and I was like,
I really am zero fucks about the taxes at this point.
I know. I was like, I started paying quarterly last year and I was so excited. I was like, look at this level I've made it to. But okay, so the first thing I did is I like, as a pop-up event for you guys, is I just created a girls' night and I didn't make it any pressure, right? I just like did a copy paste and I text people that I knew and invited them to girls' night. I posted it on my social media, like, hey, we're going to be here tonight. If anyone's local to me in Southern Utah, come stop by. And that's it. It was so low pressure, but it was a great way for me to generate fresh revenue into this business that I work for as well, which generates revenue into my business. So you just have to get like creative, but it can be like that simple. If you have a local, like if you're local somewhere, this is a great idea. Like just invite people to come in, like make a text message and just like copy paste people, be super brave and maybe like DM that girl on Instagram that you're like, I would just love to hang out with her. Be like, hey, you want to come to my girls' night, or brand it however you want. Girls' night's something that like fits with my brand and who I am. And it's like a great way just to network, but also you can use it to show off what you do. And another great example about using pop-up events to show off what you do is I went a little like crazy with tattoos, and I don't know what's happened. It's like, they're just like expanding all over my body. My daughter's 18 and she's just cute as hell. And she's like, do you remember when you like went off the rails so my husband was deployed last year overseas? She's like, and you were just like getting all these tattoos. And I'm like, it continues. But one thing I love seeing people do is I see a lot of the tattoo artists do it. So the fine line tattoos, the girls in the PMU space. I see some of you raising your hands. That's you, right? The artists, they do like really, really cool, like fun pop-ups. And they'll have like, hey, choose from these like 5 designs. And it's cool because they're posting in their stories when someone's booked that design, you can't get it. So stuff like that is stuff you can do for your business. And I know that's a physical in-person business, but like start thinking about like, how could I do this like for even a service-based business, and just like generate some fun around what you do. Plus there's lots of you guys, it looks like I've seen like girls like are like, hell yes, I could do this. There's a lot of you that like are in the PMU space, huh? Your energies are amazing. Why, thank you. So that's a super fun idea. And just text and share it. Don't make it complicated. The MVP, this is like my most businessy term, is your minimum viable product. Like, what can I do with the resources that I have? Okay. And then next level, of course, would be like, how can I create a paid event? I have done so many paid events when my following was seriously, I think I had 2,000 followers on Instagram. And I wasn't always, you can have a tattoo party, tats and business. What about Botox parties, you guys? Hold on. I got a side notes from Sam here. I threw a really fun party at my house and I wanted to sell more of my product business, Chill Glitter, which now Chill Glitter is just something fun. Like I send it to my clients and things like that. But I wanted to like, just kind of like show it off. So I threw like a fun girls' night at my house. And what I did was, I don't know if I should even say this. I got one of my really good friends who is like an injector, and I had her offer low price Botox, and it created a ton of engagement around my party, and tons of people showed up at my house to get the lower price Botox. And then I ended up selling a bunch of my products, right?
But that's what's so important, you guys, about not being in self-will and trying to do your business on your own. That's why our people in our mastermind end up making, including myself, with other ideas, like millions of dollars, because you're having other creative minds think out of the box ideas. Like, how many of you are getting ideas right now where you're like, oh my God, I never thought of doing that?
Okay. So Maureen says, I don't think that will work for my horse and dog clients, but maybe actually this is our point 4 is collaboration. So I'm going to come back, Maureen. I'm writing it down because I've got a great idea for you. So make sure you guys stay on. Okay. And then the next example would be like charging for something like that, right? So maybe you could do like a fun, like mini version of a service or product that you offer, but charge for it. An example would be like this training that Tiffany and I are doing. This is free, but this is easily could have been a paid training, so we could have charged for this training. So think like summer, think fun themes. One of my favorite things I ever did was a few summers ago, I did Rich Girl Summer, and it was like a really fun, like online, like to boost your social media. And it was so much fun because it was just the vibe of it. So it doesn't have to be Rich Girl Summer. It can be Hot Dude Summer. I see some guys on here. It doesn't have to even be, it can be like whatever feels good to you, but just think of summer vibes and what goes with your products and things like that. Okay. And then just a little more advanced to that is, I'm going to give you an example of my friend, Amy. You guys will see her at our masterminds. She does the photos. She's done Tiffany's branding photos. She takes all of my photos that you see online as well. But she decided she wanted to bring some people into her studio. She just built an in-person studio. So she actually started a networking group, and she's going to launch it in July, and it's called Her Social Club. That's just like shout out if anyone's in Southern Utah. I see some of my Southern Utah friends on here. But it's fun.
That's a great idea. A club.
Yeah. And
it's like a day club, like a beach club vibe in the summer. Oh my God.
And what it's doing though is it's bringing people in to see her studio, but you guys can create this virtually as well. Like you're going to get the club and we're all going to get on Zoom. So it doesn't matter what kind of business you have, you can apply it to it. Her first meeting's free, but her second one, she will be charging. And it was so easy to set up. She just had to create a product and then, she's like ready to go. So think easy to you guys. Because my goal this summer was to enjoy more time with my kids. I've got an 18-year-old and a 12-year-old. And that's what I've been doing. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been out just living my best fucking life and also just like living abundantly. So how can you make it easy for the summer?
Yeah, I love that. And your brain might be start going, okay, but then what about this? And then what about this? And what about that? Because you're already trying to make it hard because of a core belief that we've been programmed, that you picked up in childhood, that it has to be hard for it to work, for it to pay off, for it to make impact, for it to be possible. And it's not true. But you can make it true with a self-fulfilling prophecy if you keep telling yourself it's going to be hard. Instead, I want you to go, how can I make this fun? How can I make this easy? Who do I need to hire? What can I invest in and spend money on that I can get a clear, direct, straightforward, simple plan? So I'm not sitting over here spinning my wheels into oblivion and wasting more time, energy, and money. So I know I can feel the energy from you guys. Like if it doesn't feel fun and easy to you, it's not going to work. That's why when you guys buy these programs and systems from these people who are like, I have this 17 email funnel and you've got to post 3 times a day and you got to do this and you got to do this with hashtags. You like short circuit because it's like being controlled, and they market it to you with fantasy marketing that it's going to be so easy. And it's all you have to do is work when it's aligned. That's like my least favorite word. Brenda's on here. #aligned. I only work when it's aligned, when it feels good. That's not a profitable business plan. Some of the shit that you're hearing, imagine saying that to like Mark Cuban on the Shark Tank. He'd be like, get out of here immediately.
I think about if Gary Vee was to walk up to me, because that's my online hero, and I had him on my podcast once. And I'm like, if Gary was like, what have you been doing for your marketing efforts? And I was like, well, I was waiting until I was in Tulum and I was aligned. And then I used the power of my sensuality in the right moment. And he'd be like, just show up,
We want to break it down and be simple. So when your brain goes back to it's hard, I'm going to choose and I'm willing to go about this a different way. Remember, I had to do that. I built a multi-million-dollar company. That's an 8-figure company now, the very hard, sacrificing, miserable way. And I've built this within 16 months. I already made $1 million from starting 16 months. It took me 6 years to get to $1 million the other way. And it's not just me that's evidence, because that a lot of you could go, well, Tiffany, you're well-spoken, or Tiffany, you might have this, or a lot of people think I have a rich husband. Like, that'd be nice, but no, guess what my backup plan is? Me and my bank account. Thank you. But it's like that. You could tell yourself that, but I have clients that are in here right now. Feel free, you guys, to drop it in the comments, who are making $70,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $25,000 a month, starting from nothing. And Sam has a lot of, works with a lot of my clients as well. So I just want you guys to see that there's that evidence. Because you can make up a lot of stories about just us. So we're about to go into the third thing, which is really cool. And this is probably the easiest one. Brenda just said, my income doubled quickly working with Tiffany. Oh my God, Nancy just said best month in 5 years after 6 months with this queen. I mean, wow. Now I'm going to cry. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Guys, it feels really good, to be appreciated, when you show up for people and you care and people get the results. Like, it's unbelievable, it's moving. But if you don't feel like this about your offers and your ideal clients, and you're really just doing it for the cash, you might have like a one-hit wonder. You might, but the likelihood is it won't work. You've got to really feel this way. So there's a lot of hard days, and this is what's going to make you show up. are the people, not the profits. Because once you make the profits, you're going to need something else to keep you going. Oh my God. Working with Tiffany was the best decision I've ever made for my business. You're the real deal. Take a moment. Thank you. I take that. I take that. That's the abundance, right? You guys can feel that. There's a difference. You can tell. All of you can tell. You can tell when someone really cares, whether it's a massage therapist, a coach, a healing practitioner, versus someone who's just like one and done, buy my course, join my thing, and they don't really care. It really makes all the difference. So what we've done here is we've created a 4-month mastermind that's going to go through my 4-month monetization master plan. What is so unique about this mastermind, this is not like, oh, yay, I'm paying to be with a group of people. Like, that's not going to cut it. What you're getting here is the clear strategy, the simple funnel, how to package your offers, how to present your offers so people are excited to buy them, how to use the power of content creation as your main source of marketing so you can scale to about, I would say, 300 to 350,000 max without paid ads. You want to go past that, which is also something we teach. Then there is a little more of an advanced funnel. This doesn't mean it's hard. It's just more advanced, and you need to use that money you've made early on to like have some people help you in your business, right? Like where I'm at. Like this is also why, I have Sam and I have some other amazing team members at this point. And so that mastermind page, if Sam or Emmy, if you guys can drop it, that would be great. It's by application only. All the information is on that page. And is this like, some of you are going to go, oh my God, I can't believe Tiffany's only charging this, who've been more exposed to higher level programs before. And it's because I don't teach that you have to charge egregious prices in order to make a shitload of money. You just don't have to. My father made all of his money from selling pen sets and like Casio digital watches back in the day. He sold on like volume, right? Like you don't have to do that in order to make a lot of money, but you do need to have skin in the game to learn from us at that level and have access to my exact Project Me Dream Team. You get access to us like Monday through Friday, and you get a 2-day live in-person business event with us in Los Angeles at my beach house. That alone, I normally charge $10,000 for. That alone will change your entire business. Emmy can answer some of the questions in the comments, or Sam, while I'm teaching you the third thing. So first of all, are you guys vibing this? Is this feel like this was worth your time so far? Are you like, okay, I'm getting some fresh ideas. The wheels are turning. This isn't like circle talking. I feel like, okay. And I mean it. Like, if you're like, no, not really, then that's fine. You can put that too. Because I hate attending low cost or free things live or in person. This is why I fell in love with Sam, because her shit wasn't basic. I didn't feel like my time was wasted going to her event, right? I mean, in person, that's a lot of time, right? Like I really enjoyed myself. I got something out of it. And I hate when all of these marketers do these things. And then, yeah, exactly. It's like some weird pyramid scheme, or like, in order for you to actually really learn anything, you have to pay me. It's like, no, if you don't come into my membership, you don't join my mastermind, you don't work with me privately, you don't work with Sam, you don't work with us at right now at that higher level, I still love you and support you. And we're giving of service and being abundant. Because when you're of service and you're coming from a place of service, not a place of like sales and what can I get, but a place of service, that's the law of reciprocity. It all comes back, and people can feel it. You guys get what I'm saying? You're not behind because you don't have a product. You're actually not behind. You're just on time. You could have been anywhere else. The universe could have had you anywhere else today. And a million different things had to come into place for you to end up here, right here on this training. You're here for a reason. You're here because you're meant to do something with whatever it is you're doing. You're meant to grow it bigger. You're meant to take it to the next level. You're meant to take it more seriously. You're meant to start, or you wouldn't be here. You'd be somewhere else. So I want you to trust that. Okay. The number 3.
I told you this was for shizzle amazing, did I not? So the other 2 unique ways to bring fresh cash into your business, plus the live, unexpected pop-up business coaching that we did with people. I mean, we went a solid 2 hours on this thing and went in the weeds. And a lot of these people are going to have the same questions, the same issues in their businesses, the same things they're struggling with. And you're going to hear how Samantha and I coach them through it. So it's like you're getting personal coaching by listening. So we are making the live recording of this incredible training that thousands of people have been raving about, saying it is literally making them money in their business by applying what we taught here, which is the exact point. You can go to projectmewithtiffany.com/summer cash. You can swipe up. It is also in the show notes. So as long as you register, you will be able to have 48-hour access to this live recording. And this way you can then take notes. You can listen a couple times over so it really sets in. But this live coaching part that you are going to experience towards the end of it, major money there. Totally unexpected. It blew people's minds because no one does this in the industry. In fact, as you know, most free live trainings are circle talk and then they just try to sell you something. Remember, the Abundance League 4-month mastermind is where it's at. If you enjoyed this and you got a lot out of this, imagine what it would be like to be surrounded by me and my highly curated, very deeply trained for many, many years team, all working on your business for your maximum growth so that you can finally set things up so that you're free and make more money while having more fun and be free. Plus, come here live in person for 2 days at my Los Angeles beach house. I mean, that alone is $10,000 that I would charge for. So all the details, again, are inside the Abundance League information page. You can swipe up for that link or go to projectmewithtiffany.com/Abundance League. Take a screenshot, share this episode, share it with your downline, share it with your team, share it with your business friends. Like, let's get everyone rolling in that abundance. And you can tag me at Project Me with Tiffany, tag Samantha Parker at The Samantha Parker. And there's also a surprise gift that is in the show notes. So go look. And you get it by leaving a review on the show. But there's a couple more instructions in there. So swipe up. It's something that I'm going to be releasing and charging for. So you can get it now for a limited time for free as long as you leave a review. Then the quick instructions are in there. And you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe she's doing this. And it goes along with this training. It's meant to enhance this and increase the speed and rate and frequency of what we're going to be bringing in your business with this fresh cash vibe. Love you guys.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.